Let's take a look at what AngularJS components we're going to need to build our form. First off, we're going to be wrapping everything in a module, and this module will be the app itself. Later on in this course, the module will be something reusable that can be reused in other projects, but for now we're just going to create the module called AngularFormsApp.js. And within this module, we're going to create a controller. We use the controller to handle the data in the $scope variable. And I'm going to name it EF controller for employee form controller, and it's a JavaScript file. One of the problems with JavaScript and some other languages like Objective-C is that there's no concept of namespacing. So I'm going to prefix all of our form objects with EF for employee form. So along with the controller, we're going to use a service, efservice.js. And this is just so that the controller itself doesn't have to reach out to the web server. We'll use a service to handle that. So the service will both get and post employee information for us. Now to get the form on the screen, we're going to need a directive. We want to make it really clear where the form is going to live on the page. And creating a custom directive using declarative HTML is a good way to go. And we're going to need a file for the form itself, a view. Now there's no component in AngularJS called a view, but instead we're just going to create an HTML file, eftemplate.html. And this is what's going to actually hold our form. It'll hold the form tag along with all the input tags for the form. So let's go ahead and create these files. Back in Visual Studio, let's create a folder named app. I'll add a new folder app. And we'll create our JavaScript file for the app under here. So we have Angular Forms app to hold our module, which will be the app. I'll also create a folder under app, and we'll call it employee form. And this is where I'll create all the other files we'll need. So we have EF controller, EF directive, EF service, and eftemplate.html. The next thing I want to do is go into index.html and add all these JavaScript files to the head. And we don't need to include the HTML file because that'll get loaded dynamically later on.